Um, I really believe that this is my first time actually pursuing online studies. Yes, I've taken a class here and there online, but my doctoral program is all, all online, all self-driven. And I found there to be a lot of struggle with that. It's like socially, you don't have those resources or someone to go to even like kind of really help you and assist you, that face-to-face interaction. So I've also found that the online program has been very hands-off, which, like you said, we're all busy, me not so much. I've kind of pursued education as my career right now, but a lot of other people are very busy and they don't have the time commitment to sit in class.
That's correct. That's correct. But I guess, yeah, I guess GCU also is doing a great job concerning finding the resources, having a library, and of course the librarians are really, really awesome. They are very helpful, very cooperative. I mean, as soon as I send them an email concerning like a book or an article that I cannot find, they really do their best to send me the what I need as soon as possible.
That's great. I haven't spoken with the librarian directly, but I've spoke with the technical support, and they've helped me troubleshoot like SPSS. They've helped me with the Loud Cloud system. Like, they're super available, and I'm pretty happy with. In the last couple classes, my teachers have called me on the phone and talked to me and stuff like that, and I'm like, oh, this is so great. Like, I'm not used to that.
Yeah.
So GCU is really good in terms of helping their students out.
Yeah, it is. Even the instructors, although it's not all the instructors are helpful. I've experienced some, like I've struggled somehow with some instructors who were not able to help their students. For example, one of the instructor she has been so crazy just because I texted her a message concerning an assignment that I haven't understood. And it was almost the due date. And she said, if you have something, I could realize from, the way that she texted me, that she was telling me, why would you just text me? It would be better for you if you put the question in the individual form. But I had no time, because if I put it over there, it would take her a day or two to answer me, because the instructors do not often like check the forum or the Loud Cloud. And then I just text her back, okay, if you don't want students to text you, why would you put your cell phone? Why would you put your cell phone? There's no point in that, right? There's no point. And then I stopped just asking her question. But yeah, as I said, from the first course that I've started, I've created this Facebook group in which I added all of my classmates at that time, and then every course I got to I suggest them to join the group, because interaction with the classmates is really helpful. Sometimes you don't know a point, but when you ask about it, some other classmates know about it, and vice versa. Sometimes you can share something useful that you find on the internet for other students.
Well, the way that I'm actually so glad that you created the Facebook group, because I have been trying since I started this program and putting it in the student forums to get people to do a video consult group, and it hasn't really been received until I became a member of the Facebook groups and other GCU ones, and then those people want to get to know their classmates and stuff.
Let me see. Are you in our group because? The group that I've created is called, let's check, it's called the Grand Canyon University Doctoral Program 2000, I guess 14. Yep, 2014.
Actually, don't.
Yeah, I guess you are on the other group.
But I'll definitely
I got it. I'm sorry, I thought I just closed the Zoom and then I got the page.
I will join that one if you will allow me. I'm looking to get more involved with the students.
I'll private message you the link for this one, Yes, I got it. Oh, you are here, I guess. What's that? Let me. No, no, not this one. Actually, I need to go to members. Admin. Okay, here it is. I'll text you the link so that you can join.
Great. Sometimes I feel like the online forum can be like of school can be kind of limiting, because I feel like in the classroom, I'm someone who really doesn't talk a lot. I really don't talk a lot unless I have a question, or I really have valuable feedback or insight that someone hasn't given yet. And I find like when we do our schooling and we're given these questions, most people respond the same. You do get some variation, you know, people will take a stray, but generally the responses are the same. And I really feel like because of the requirements of the school, that I have to comment in a certain manner.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I don't feel like I could really ask a question or make a personal comment about someone the way that they wrote it, like, oh, it's beautifully written or whatever, or I agree with you, you know. So I find that socially, the online forum of schooling is kind of hard for me to make those peer connections. And I find myself alone. Or what if I do have a question, or I honestly need someone to like talk it over with about a paper? Maybe like I don't want the answer from you, but I want to talk to you about like an idea. And I don't always get that.
Yeah, right. Actually, I mean, you talk about you talk about concerning the substantial responses that are required.
Yeah.
Oh, sometimes I even feel that I mean, sometimes I like what other students post. However, I don't have that much to say about it.
Yeah.
I mean, even if I have something, I would say it like personal. I wouldn't be able just, for example, to cite like a reference to do that. But
yeah,
you have to put at least 3 substantial responses, even though you don't have anything to say.
Yeah.
If you don't, you would be penalized for not having these requirements.
Yeah.
1 second, let me get my cigarette. Oh, yeah. Are we expecting other members to join?
I had in our email list, I had, I believe, 4 other people.
Let me check. A student, I don't know the time. She is in Afghanistan. Maybe, but she will be interested in doing that. I haven't. Oh, Tanya, yes.
My only concern is that I've never used Zoom before for multiple people. So I'm like, maybe because it's a free version, I can only talk to one person at a time.
Uh-huh.
And that's the only thing I'm thinking. I'm like, maybe they can't log on because only one person at a time is allowed. But then I didn't get any notification. So
No. I don't think everyone. I don't think it's only one person is allowed, because that's the way how they do the proposal defense, the dissertation defense. I've seen like 3 or 4 people at the same time log into that. I don't think it's only one person is allowed.
even I did not know that. Even the when we defend our proposal, it's online like this.
It's
Are you
online.
serious? Oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
The proposal, the dissertation, you've had to schedule 2 Zoom calls with your chair per course, like every 2 months.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Every month, every other week, you have to schedule a Zoom call with your chair and your methodologist as well.
Oh, I didn't know that. That I thought I did that in person, or like with a residency or something like that.
No, you don't have anything to do with the residency with the Zoom.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen it in the DC network. I've seen some recordings like that, the Zoom, like the chair is there, the students, the methodologist, you know, and some other people, like 3 or 4 people. So it's not only one.
Now, this is what's interesting to me is that, okay, we have to do that, and that's part of our our doctoral degree, but how come no teachers do video calls, or how come no teachers are offering up like study groups and stuff like that through Zoom or practice? Because practice, do you know that if you're not comfortable in front of the camera, this is going to be very anxiety provoking for you.
Right, I agree with you. That was the first question that I've asked my counselor when I first enrolled. I told her, because I thought that there would be like online classes like this, like we all here, and the teacher would explain the lesson. Students would discuss with the teacher, with each other. But then she said, no, there's no live classes like this. I said, it would be better. It would be much better. Just as you said, to get used to this technology, and then it's going to be like similar to a face-to-face class, to on-campus class. If you have a question, because what I'm concerned about is if I have a question, sometimes I would need an immediate response to my question. If I put it on the individual form or send it or text it to my teacher, it would take that like time to answer.
Yeah.
What if we have an assignment, a paper to do, and today is the due date? I would not get a response until tomorrow. And then if I don't post it today, I will be penalized 10% of my grade. And that would be bad. But yes, that's a good point. Why don't teachers instructors at least make like twice a week, like a conference call with the students?
Yeah, that's what I have to say, that I do take advantage of the fact that my professors can't respond right away. I have taken advantage of that. And gotten extensions because of that. So thank you for that, teachers. But at the same time, being a student and this being my first online experience, and especially the way that technology is going with online technology, I wonder why our teachers aren't doing this to even kind of show, I guess, their investment into the students. Like, yes, I am still a teacher. I'm an online teacher, yes, but I need to take advantage of the things that are out there. And I mean, I would totally actually record, if I was a teacher, I would record me doing a lecture. I would record me doing a lecture and put that up for students to have as another form of instruction, because what I'm doing for my program is I want to find kind of it's instructional methods and learning theory, like using the way that people learn. But I want to
learning styles. Right.
I want to see if the presentation of the material affects the way that the person learns when they have a disability. So that's like kind of the unique spot, is when they have a disability. But if I was a teacher, I would be recording my sessions. And I mean, also, our teachers prescribe us a YouTube video for our homework sometimes. Go on YouTube and watch this video. Why don't you prescribe me your own?
Why don't you do it yourself?
Yeah. Or make a Grand Canyon YouTube page and have that as a resource for people to get to know GCU and like their online programs. Like, use it as a marketing tool.
It's gonna be a marketing tool, right? I agree with you.
Yeah.
And students would be attracted toward that, because as I told you, yes, there are students differ in their learning styles. Some of them are visual, that they would feel more comfortable just reading materials or seeing. Some of them would learn more if like they are watching like a YouTube video.
Yeah.
And I'm this kind of students. I would understand better if I've seen my teacher recording the lecture online. I've seen it, even if I'm not there, even if it is just recorded for YouTube and uploaded through YouTube. So what if the teachers are there like now, and they are responding to your questions immediately? They will give you the opportunity to ask questions while they are lecturing. It would be a great resource. And as you said, yes, I agree with you. It could be used as a marketing tool.
Yeah. Well, you also see with, since, your focus is critical thinking, how that immediate response from someone can help the process of critical thinking. Because if you don't have, you're stuck. You cannot move on in your process of thinking until you get that answer, because it's like a block. It's what you fixate on, So like, critical thinking would improve if we had that dialogue right back and forth.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Sometimes you find that obstacle that cannot be overcome unless you get an immediate response. whether from your teacher, from your peers, from your classmates. And
Yeah.
if you don't find it, you would even be discouraged to go ahead. You would just leave the material, go do something else. So why wouldn't the teachers be available, as I said, at least once a week? That would be perfect. That would
Yeah.
be perfect. Yep.
Once a week for an hour on a consult group, like a video consult group, just like this, you know.
Yep. Yep.
Um, and you get to know them like personality wise with my instructors. I've been able to get a really good sense of personality over the 8 weeks, and some of them show a little more personality than others, but building that relationship with your professor is very important too, you know.
It is.
So, I mean, this could help build a relationship, you know, because don't they become our chairs and stuff like that? Aren't they the people who oversee our work, you know?
Could be. Yep. 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 Could be. The same instructor could be your chair. Who knows? Because it is like they are GCU faculty members.
Yeah.
Or it could be like your AQR or IRB members. Then you would benefit from what they say during the lecture in building up your dissertation or proposal. You would benefit from the points that they raise, because even though sometimes the class has no relationship with the writing process, but they would say, hey, look, by the way, you benefit from this point when you're going to write your proposal or your 10 strategic points or your dissertation. So yeah, it's a good idea for those instructors, and I guess I would put that in my course feedback. At the end of the course, you would have a feedback just to tell. At one point, would say, what could we do in order to better develop our courses, or what do you wish to see in our program? So yeah, I would put that. Why wouldn't our instructors have our Zoom conference with the students?
Mm-hmm. I'm wondering, I don't recall getting a course feedback thing for my last couple of courses, but maybe it's because my student services advisor, oh, my dog stopped the light. Maybe my student service advisor hasn't sent it to me because I wasn't like responding to him. I don't really know.
No, it's not sent by the advisor. It's automatically generated at the last week, I guess 2 weeks before your course ends. You will get, I mean, as soon as you log into your live class, it will tell you, would you please take the feedback, and it would pop up every time that you log in. It is, I guess, a week before the course ends, or 2 weeks. I don't remember actually. And you would give feedback concerning your instructor, your library, your student service advisor, and then general things about GCU, like how would you improve, what would you recommend for GCU to improve their services?
Mm-hmm. I need to take advantage of that. I can't complain if I'm not saying anything.
It's not complaining. It's not complaining, but you would say what you've experienced.
Yeah.
You would say what you've experienced.
I'll take advantage of that. I'll start.
Yep.
So what attracted you to Grand Canyon? What was it about Grand Canyon that?
Okay. Actually, what attracted me from my first course that I've taken is the amount of care I've received from my advisor. And I've even told the dean in my residency, I told him, without the advisor, I would never just complete my course, because I felt discouraged at the beginning, because unfortunately the first instructor that I've had was so discouraging. She was just fond of penalizing for nothing, even for nothing, like in your weekly like DQs. I remember that I've written like almost about 500 words, and I've cited like 3 resources, and she gave me like 4 out of 6. And I don't know why. And when I've complained to her, she said it's only 2 points. Okay, it's 2 out of 6, and it's too much. 2 out of 6 is too much. Besides, I would love to know what I've done wrong just to be penalized for these points.
Yeah.
Then I've called my advisor and she was so serious in solving this problem. She just send me your response, or just ask your teacher what you have done wrong to be penalized, because students would love to know the feedback. It's not
Yeah.
only getting you like 4 out of 6. I would like to see what I have done wrong, what would I have done differently in order to get like a full mark. So yeah, she was so careful about my concerns, and she was calling me regularly just to see if I need something. So that was the first thing that I've benefited from. Second thing is the idea of the residencies. Actually, have you ever been to a residency or not yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, you will be there and you will see that you will have a different understanding of the course once you are there, actually from the first day. When you meet the professors over there who are so experienced, you would benefit from every single word they tell you. You would also interact with your classmates, just looking at the issue from different perspectives. Yes, it is, as I told you from the beginning, it's tough, but through the residency, you would feel the joy of this toughness.
Yeah.
You would see that you can do it, because at the first residency, you would meet students on their second residency, and you would feel like encouraged to be in their place, because if I see that there's like 100 or 200 students who've done it from the first to the second residency, it means that you are more likely to do it as well. And then once you get to the second residency, there's not too much left to get your dissertation written, and you'll be called like doctor, like
Yes.
you would feel like encouraged to just to go ahead with what you've been doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, residencies are really, really wonderful, great. I've attended 2 residency. As the first one, I've changed a little bit of my topic, and I've got more understanding of what I have to do. And then when I went to my second residency, I've changed some of my variables based on the feedback of my instructors. For example, one variable was in my dissertation, because I'm trying to compare critical thinking skills of the ESL students based on their age and gender. So one feedback that I've received from my instructor is, if I've found in my results, if I've found that females think better than males, this is a sensitive issue. If my chair was a male, he might have been like upset because it's gonna be against him, because I don't agree that women think better than men.
Yes.
So or vice versa. It's just an example. Although recent research has found, that yes, most of the time, females in my setting. Oh, my internet connection is not stable. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, you froze for a quick second.
Okay. So yes, although recent research has found out that female students think more critically than male students, but I would like to find it myself, about my sample, about my population. But again, the instructor said, if you found like this is going to be like a sensitive issue, so it would be better for you just to take the variable of gender off. But then another problem appears. When I take the gender variable, I will need another variable. So she suggested, and it's a good suggestion that I'm following right now, she suggested to insert the variable of, for example, highest level of education, just to see, because mostly adult ESL students, some of them have never been to school, even in their native language. Some of them have got their high school diploma, and that's it. Some of them got their masters, and I've had students right now and in the past that have their PhD. but their English is not that good. That's why they are not doing well in this country, because they don't know how to communicate in English.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is one of the benefits. You would change your topic, you would change your study based on the feedback of your classmates.
Mm-hmm.
It's frozen again.
Oh, so we have someone joining.
Oh,
Carmen.
we have Carmen. We have Carmen. Carmen, are you here? I just see the name of Carmen. I don't see Carmen.
I know. I just see the name too.
Hey, Carmen. Oh, she left.
Oh wait, she connected. She connected the video because it's showing the little name, or the video's connecting.
Oh, right. Do you hear us, Carmen? Hey, Carmen.
Carmen's not your friend from Afghanistan, right?
No.
Okay.
My friend from Afghanistan is not responding. I just Viber here. Boy says, I don't know. There's maybe now it's, I don't know. Not the time difference, but it's a big difference. I don't know. But she's not responding. Let me text here. We are doing.
Oh, Carmen, hello, we see you.
I can see you, Carmen. Can you hear us? Yes.
Yeah, I think our audio came in. There's a chat option too.
Oh, is there a chat option?
Yeah. You could even, I think you could even join these calls with your audio off or your video off too.
Okay. Yep, you can.
Hi, sorry, I'm just logging in.
Oh, welcome.
Carmen, how are you?
This is Carmen Smith from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Woo.
Hi, Dr. Smith. How are you?
Good, and you?
Good, thank you.
Are you doing better now? I saw some of your posts where you were having.
Yes, I am. Thank you for asking. Okay, my name is Ayad Abdul Jabbar, and I'm on my 3rd year. I'm almost an ABD, so this is my last coursework. After that, I would start doing my proposal. I would be assigned a chair, hopefully next month. What are you in the program, Carmen?
3rd year, I'm ABD.
Good.
I know.
I have. I am ABD. I've in the 8th week of dissertation 1. Dissertation 1, let me warn you, if anybody else is not there, is revision.
Ah.
I am now doing my last and 7th revision on my prospectus after my Zoom meeting with my chair on Friday. And it's just little bitty things that I have to tweak. And then it goes to my methodologist, and she told me to just work on my chapter 2 of my proposal. So I have chapter 3 pretty much completed on my proposal, most of chapter 1, and about 10 pages of chapter 2.
I'm sorry, did you say this is your 7th? This is your 7th revision?
Yes, of my prospectus.
Great.
And it's not because of alignment. I'm revising because of APA.
Oh.
Okay, great.
So I'm not even there yet.
So where are you? Where are you?
Raquel. You will be.
Yeah, I know. I am about a year, almost 2 years into my program. I have 4 more classes until I get into my dissertation classes. So next year, I'll be getting into the dissertation. I'm still learning, still a learner right now.
But Raquel, how come that you haven't been to any residency since this is your 2nd year?
Alrighty.
Once you finished, I guess 5 classes.
You both.
Yeah. I haven't really, I've been kind of lackadaisical with my approach and not really, but I also kind of bounced around in topics and what I wanted to talk about. I started the program before they did the program revision where they have residencies every couple of classes now. So I could have had that option, but I didn't go that way. So it's kind of like, I haven't really put down my resources and I guess they want a summary, you know, of your work before you can go to your residency, and I really haven't done that yet. So I'm just kind of.
So you haven't been to any residency yet?
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Have you?
I have attended both residencies. I'm almost ABD. I mean, this is my last course, which is ED 827, Strategic Planning, and this is my 4th week. So yeah, in a month from now, actually in November, I would start my first residency class. I don't know whether it's residency class because I will be assigned a chair. Is it the first residency class?
You get your chair in your first dissertation class.
So let me check just
actually,
give me a second,
my
please.
chair was assigned.
Yeah, right now I'm in EDU 827, and in November I would be assigned a chair. So yeah, it's going to be my first residency, my first dissertation class in November.
Right. Do you have your content expert?
Not yet. Do I have to have it right now?
Have you asked for one? It's good to start looking now, because the process is your student advisor has to mail them a
form,
D form, a 10 form, D10 form, and then they have to fill it out and mail it back. So it's a process. So it's good for you to get someone now. It's probably easier if you get someone on site. I got mine off a site through someone I know.
Okay, great. Okay, that's a good point too. But first of all, let me see. Let me make sure. Raquel, are you doing a PhD or EdD?
A PhD.
PhD. What about you, Carmen?
EdD.
EdD. Okay, so we both, Carmen and I, are doing EdD. I guess there's not much difference, but yes, that's why that's why Raquel has not attended any residency, because for PhD it's optional.
Oh, okay.
For PhD it's optional.
Okay.
For us, EdD.
Well, it's work.
Hey, it sounds like a week-long vacation, you know, at some nice hotel. I'm all for it. Like, you know.
But I mean, being optional doesn't mean you would not benefit from it. I would recommend you go there because, as I told you, you will get a lot from the feedback of your instructors, of your classmates. You would just meet face to face with them, and I'm sure that you would change a lot of your 10 strategic points.
Yeah.
So yeah,
mine is completely different from when my first residency a couple of years ago. From the instructors, from meeting classmates, the people that I was with in my first residency, we started a GroupMe account on our iPhones.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we support each other through that. And we're across the nation. But it's not a vacation. Would you agree, Ayat?
I do agree.
It is work.
I do. I've just told Raquel about these residencies, and I told her that I've changed a variable of my study, which was gender, and because of the feedback that I've received from my instructor, I put the gender variable off, and I've taken another variable, which is highest level of education, put it into that, and this would make my dissertation, more reliable, and I would put myself on the safe side. I would avoid a number of questions when I defend my proposal and dissertation. Yes. Because yes, as I told you, besides that, you would feel more confident when you attend your residency because of the physical situation that an instructor who is supposed to be an expert in that field would tell you what to do. And that is what I've felt when I've had this feedback. I felt more confident in my topic.
Yeah.
Some people, unfortunately, got defensive rather, and were irritated that the instructors asked them to change things. But it wasn't to take away the essence of their study. It was to help them to not make more work for themselves. I, too, took gender out of it, out of my topic. I took cultural background out of my topic and just had a blanket special ed, special education, and expressive art, and the perceptions of teachers, therapists, and parents.
Okay, just one point to add. You do not, even when you receive feedback from your instructors, you do not have to follow what they tell you. This is their own opinion. But for example, let's say that you have your own idea that you are satisfied with, that you are sure about. Do not change it, because if you know how to defend it, how to justify it, you do not have to change it. Again, the feedback that you get from your instructors are just like personal opinion.
Yeah.
Personal opinion, and even they say that. I mean, they've told me that you do not have to follow our opinion. But when it comes to your proposal defense, you must have valid points that you defend your selection, you defend your choice. When somebody asks you why didn't you do it like this and you did it like that, if you know how to defend it, just give it, don't change it.
Yeah.
Because you are responsible.
But
Your chair is not responsible for it. You are responsible. Go ahead, Carmen.
And by the time you get to this point, you will truly know your topic. You will hear the name of one of the people from your theoretical foundation, and you'll know it. You'll know exactly who they are, what year. You really, are married by this point to your topic and to your people, to your research. I never thought I could be, but when I was talking on my Zoom meeting with my chair the other night, she puts up the share screen and she puts up my recent document, and it's right now an 86-page document, and we're going through it, and she says, well, what about so-and-so? Can we take this out? Because my problem, I have to edit 3 pages because it's too long. It can only be 10 pages long. After they take out the cover sheet, the template, the references, and your tables at the end, your appendices, it can only be 10 pages. So that's the reason I'm revising, because I have too much. So she told me to be more cryptic, not bullet point, but not creative writing either. And so as we're taking things out, I'm able to tell her, no, that explains blah, 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 blah. She says, oh, no, leave that in. So, and my chair, she studied, her dissertation was on economics in Soviet Union. Or somewhere like that. So, totally different.
Yeah.
Okay, Carmen,
Yeah.
can I ask you this question, please? If by chance your prospectus and 10 strategic points are not that aligned, will your chair help you align it? Will they guide you to go, where to go, which references to cite, or how to do? I mean, I'm curious to know the role of the chair in this process.
She won't tell you. I'm past that point already. Mine do align. But when I first started it, doing the proposal class, that was one of the first assignments that we made sure they aligned. And she assisted me with finding alignment. Basically, I just packed it up. Reading through Robert K. Yin's books on qualitative. Are you doing qualitative or quantitative?
Quantitative correlation.
Okay, well, through the qualitative work, she had me read through that, and I bought about 3 of his books, and those help you, a lot. And she helped, so I'm past that point. She helped me to understand more of my style of writing, basically, so that the methodologists can see my alignment throughout my paper. And at first, the hard part for me was because you're repetitive in the perspective, you repeat yourself a lot, but that's needed so that your readers can stay on task with what they're reading.
Okay, thank you so much. And if you don't mind, I have another question concerning the gap in the literature. I've had some controversial issues about, some would say that one recent article is enough. I mean, what is the article that states the gap or the identified need is enough? Some said that there should be a minimum of 5 studies. Which one would you recommend?
I'd say about 5.
Minimum?
About 5. Yeah, 5.
So 5 would say the same, I mean, would recommend the
That was the hard part.
Okay.
That recommend the name, not word by word, but basically. Like my thing is perspectives of parents, teachers, and therapists. So I found an article that showed the gap of the perceptions of parents. I found another one that showed the gap of the perceptions of teachers. I found another one that showed the perceptions of therapists. So that's 3 right there. And then I found one that had pretty much all 3.
And should they say literally that there is a need or there's more need to research this topic, or it's just implied?
It should say that. Your methodologist might throw it out. It doesn't have to. You can take that chance, but I would hate to take that chance and get all the way this far and then have the methodologist throw it out because the need isn't stated in the article. So, okay. What is your topic?
Well, my topic is this is the part. My topic is investigating the correlation between critical thinking skills of ESL students, that's English as a second language students, and their language learning and highest level of education. So I would just do like a correlational study. I would try to find if those people who think more critically would learn language easier than those who lack or who have like less critical thinking than others. And this is the first part. The other part is whether the variable of highest level of education of students have any correlation, have any relationship in this process. So what I found is an article written on 2013 that literally states, it's said in the recommendation section, this article investigated the relationship between critical thinking and the speaking skills of ESL students, only speaking skills. And they say, although we found a positive correlation between critical thinking and ESL language speaking skill, there should be, or there are some studies that are needed to investigate the role of critical thinking on other language skills, like reading, writing, vocabulary, grammar. So this is the article that I've based my study on. However, I found some other articles that have investigated, for example, the role of critical thinking on the writing skills, but they haven't recommended further study on this one. Karen quit, or is she still there?
I dropped her, I think.
She dropped. I guess she will try to reconnect. So this is the hard part. 5 articles. I've only had 2 or 3 because I thought that 1 article is enough.
Probably not. Probably not, because let's just say that article, those results could have happened by chance, you know, and so you need more of a rationale. But what I'm concerned about now is with my topic is when you were saying implied, I'm like, okay, yes, most of my articles are imply that there's a need for my research.
That's good.
Or
That's good.
or it's not there. Like you go to search that topic and it's not there. So like,
yeah, like you would say that recent research has investigated the role of such a thing in such a thing. However, there is no study yet that have investigated this thing, which I am trying to investigate.
yeah.
It's implied. Yeah, this is the hardest part. I mean, just to justify your study.
Well, I mean, from personal experience, I can't really say much because I haven't been there, and you know, Carmen had been, but I wish he was still here because I kind of think if you can defend it, that's all that matters.
That's all that matters, right?
And you, I mean, you can choose another methodologist, right? Say they're not agreeing with you, but it's my study. Like it's my study, and I don't know.
So is it the methodologist who's concerned about the alignment?
Yeah.
So because I don't know, maybe I have like a blurred idea about what the role of the methodologist is. I thought that the methodologist would assist you in all your methodology, like statistics or chapter 3. I might be mistaken. I'm not pretty sure.
Well, methods are also down to the construct, you know, and the different types of validity. So even, are you measuring what you're supposed to be measuring for? Are you measuring what you say you're going to measure? Like, is this really an accurate representation of what's going on here? So I guess that methodologist is also that person who looks at the format of your study,
right.
Principles. Though I think okay, so I just recently did an assignment on alignment where we talked about alignment and what makes something in line. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I know what alignment is, but in your study, like, what does alignment look like?
Well, alignment means the connection between the 10 parts of the 10 strategic points. For example, let me give you my study as an example. My topic is, look, this is the first part. My topic is on investigation of the role of on investigation of the relationship between critical thinking of ESL students and their language learning and highest level of education. That's one thing. When it comes to the defined gap, the gap should be the justification of your study should be aligned with the topic. I should find an article that calls for further study in this point between critical thinking and language learning. Then your purpose statement. Before that, your problem statement should be aligned. Your problem statement, it's not known if and to what extent there is a correlation between critical thinking skills of ESL students and language learning. So this is the alignment. Yes, you've stated in your topic, there are certain number of variables that these variables should be there in your problem statement. Otherwise, there will be no alignments. And then you just, when you're gonna create your research questions or hypotheses, they also should be aligned with your purpose, your problem statement and your topic. So for example, since my problem statement, it's not known if and to what extent there is a correlation between critical thinking and language learning and highest level of education. So the first RQ would be, is there a significant correlation between the critical thinking of ESL students and their language learning? No, this is the overarching questions. Is there a significant correlation between critical thinking skills of ESL students and language learning and their highest level of education? Then RQ1, I would have critical thinking and language learning. And I would say, is there a significant correlation between the critical thinking skills of ESL students and their language learning? And the null hypothesis would be there is no significant correlation. So the hypothesis, RQ, problem statement, topic would be aligned if I mention all of these variables. Then when it comes to my purpose statement, I mean the purpose of this correlational quantitative study is to investigate, and the wording here is very important. You should use the same wording exactly. The purpose of this correlational quantitative study is to investigate if there is a significant correlation between so and so. And then the significance of the study. I forgot. The methodology, the method and design of your study should also be aligned. How would you decide which method to choose? Depending on your topic, on your problem statement, on your RQ, on your hypotheses. So, and you need to justify why this method is the best to deal with or to answer your RQs, your research questions. So this is what I've understood from alignment. So can you tell me about why do you think your study is aligned, or how did you just, because you've done an assignment about alignment?
Yeah. So basically where I'm at is that meshing theory, which is the idea that we pair someone's learning preference with an instructional method, and they'll learn best from that, like matching the learning styles and the presentation of material. Basically, that research has come out saying that meshing theory isn't a thing, that it really doesn't exist, or people learn anyways. But what I'm looking at is like, okay, so you use these samples of people who are normal population samples. They don't have a learning disability. What happens when you tailor a learning or an instructional method to a disability? And so individuals with ADHD benefit from kinesthetic learning properties, and that's been shown in the research. And they've also been shown to not be when individuals with ADHD, when they're presented with material that is verbal or reading, reading presentation, it can overwhelm their working memory, and they don't learn as effectively. So if this is true, that meshing theory doesn't work, but then all these people with ADHD are not learning from traditional methods, then maybe we can look back at meshing theory and apply these meshing principles to individuals with ADHD with kinesthetic learning. So I'm testing, does the method of instruction influence learner outcome? So it's already been shown that my sample population, which is individuals with ADHD, benefit from non-traditional methods. So, and I guess this is where I get kind of confused, because there's a need to test this because individuals with ADHD don't often get educational accommodations. Mm-hmm. Usually all the educational things targeted to individuals with ADHD are behavioral and not really education based. So I'm looking to develop accommodations for individuals with ADHD. So like I have all of these like little things here, and I see a theme throughout my topic. So it suggests that it's aligned, and I could use the same language, but right now I guess I'm at the stage where everything's like here and there, and I wonder if I have alignment.
Okay. Can you tell me what your research questions are?
Do individuals with ADHD benefit, or does the learning outcome for individuals with ADHD improve when given kinesthetic learning properties?
Okay, so you're gonna do a pre and post test, are you? Because if you want to investigate, if you want to see the influence of a certain technique, you would first test your sample without treatment.
Okay.
Then dividing the sample into two groups, random division, like a control group and experimental group. Then you take the experimental group, treat them with your variable, like give them instructions or whatever you are planning to do, and then do a post test on both groups. Then compare
and see if one improves.
Then would see if whatever treatment that you've given has any influence on the results of the test, of the post test. You're gonna compare the results of the pre and post test just to see if there's any difference. Are you planning to do this or not? Or you have another idea?
I actually didn't think about administering a pre and post test, but I do like that idea.
Yeah, and it's going to be like a quantitative study.
I definitely want it to be quantitative. In my bachelor's program, I did a qualitative study. Never again. That was so much work, so much time,
I know.
so much defense. Like, no.
So yeah, as I told you, since there's the word influence, because this is the key words. I mean, it's how you're going to defend your proposal, how you're going to defend your choice of a certain methodology and design. You're going to say, because I have influence, does so and so this method influence the outcome? Because you have influence, you would need to have a pre and post test, because how would you see the influence unless you just give them a pre-test, record the results, divide them into an experimental group and control group, give them a post test, and to see do or have the experimental group improved after the treatment or not. If you have seen an improvement, it means this is the reason why. It's not the reason, I'm sorry, we're not concerned with the reason. I mean, this is the influence. This is probably because they have received this treatment, so their results are getting better. Or if there's no result, then you're gonna support your null hypothesis that there's no influence on such treatment.
That just gave me an idea. Like, now I see my study coming to life right now. I'm like, okay, I can see this being run.
Great that we come out with something out of this conference call.
Yeah, that's right. We have the Zoom call has only about 8 minutes left.
Oh, so it has a time limit?
Yeah, time limit for the free.
Is it for only 1 hour?
I think it's for like an hour and 15 minutes.
15 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Because we started like 6 o'clock, and now it's 7:04. It's my timing.
Yeah, that's okay. So if you would like, I'd love to continue this every Sunday at 3 p.m. So I'll be here, and I'll see if we can get some other people to join in with us.
Yes, why not?
And this has been really helpful for me, developing and listening to your guys' experience.
For me as well. And I guess our classmates, if you don't mind, I will post this. I would add you to our Facebook group for our students, our classmates, and you can post this every Sunday, just reminding them, or during the week, ask them, whoever would like to join us in our conference is going to be like beneficial. We can post the recording as well to our Facebook group, and that's it.
Yep. Okay. So the next group will be held on October 16th at 3 p.m. Pacific time. And I'll see you then.
Okay. See you. Thank you, Raquel.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.